To help ourselves combat, well, one word I learned about it is resistance. Resistance in a way because I talk in terms of limits, limitations. We need that resistance to help ourselves combat resistance because we have to want to actually learn to be better. And then one of the critical things that we have been told about, we have wanted to drive ourselves about, okay, what improvements are we looking to do? The questions that we should ask ourselves is, are you better off now than what you were 4 years ago? For a favorite line that I like that was actually said by many times of Ronald Reagan before he left for his second term ended as his president, being the U.S. And we want to ask ourselves this question is, in terms of resistance, are you still contacting and are you still combating the resistance? Because we do need the resistance that helps us to improve in all aspects of adjusting to the different situations of why it's important to adjust, why it's important to still adapt. Well, because our certainties of what we have today can get us too comfortable. We want to be certain that, okay, we have the responsibilities and we have the normal attributes of things we have to take care of, right? Because economically, that's our obligation. To dive back into the techniques of really the questions that we're curious about when we're doing a job interview. As we're going into a job interview, and then we're asked these questions, is so that way the company is not only looking for a potential candidate, but also an effective and efficient candidate, and that will help match values. In terms of how you learn about people who find great people, in terms of how much of a salary that they're able to earn, and of course with the greater salary, to look back at the dollar side. And with the greater salary that we earn, there's going to be more expectations. There's going to be more responsibility and challenges added on. In terms of resistance, why we want to embrace resistance is because embracing resistance is what will help us get more stronger and help ourselves adjust to our way of norms, our normal way of why we are conformed to the normal habits of life. And really, one of the really good ideas to help cap off and to credit one of the agencies that I'm currently working with is Roth Staffing through Ultimate Organization, that they credit to build up these questions to help you be more effective, is so that way when employees are looking for work or looking for a potential partnership in business, they can look back at these questions to consider the highlights of these to-dos to go forward and make the effort. My favorite one: know where you are going and how long will it take you to get there. Feeling rushed will only add stress, and you want to be relaxed and confident. And these are the highlights that I want to read to you, and that's to share the credibilities that agencies like the Staffing and Roth Ultimate Organization or the Manpower organizations, and any organizations in your company at large can still take the advice and take these suggestions to help adhere for improvements, improve the efforts of future candidates. The mental attitude, the right mental attitude is important. Go through the offer. Show your personality. Do the best you can. If you get the offer, you have control. Make your answers concise. Use examples, but don't be excessive. If they don't have something left to ask at the end of the interview or in an end of a business meeting, it wasn't a good interview or a meeting or a partnership deal. Relax. Let your personality and professionalism shine. Always ask questions about the job, the company, the product. So this will show your knowledge of the product in the company and what the organization is doing. Answer all questions honestly and to the best of your ability. Dress professionally. First impressions count for a lot. Impressions. I talked about before why it's important to be or contain your outward appearance, the good healthy habits of the outward appearance that promote attributes. So that way you don't have to come across exercising the same habits you've probably just as well been preached about. But I'm preaching to you as a young guy telling you, okay, why I'm dressed like this, button down shirt, clean shaven, is so that you can see the examples of why it's important to retain your outward appearance. And so that way you have the aptitudes and skill sets to improve your inner self and maintain that good self-esteem attributes that you're looking for. So be active, have good self-esteem. I go back to, let's say, simple examples of why you're asked questions in a job interview, why you're wanting to be able to learn and grow in your business. It's so that way you can be effective. You can retain those skill sets. Skill sets of being, okay, let's say one example of how the many attributes of spiritual abilities that we want to learn. Where we are religious, we want to be able to still embody the religious principles that we've learned from and then embrace it with the culture. Now, in a sense, we want to hold guns to our religious principles, but don't think that we have to always conform ourselves to the written principles. You can still learn and cultivate a variety of ways. Yes, it is very important to know the black and whites of the principles. Yes, it is principle that we have to pay our bills on time. It is principle that if we were to maintain good self-esteem, we have to get rid of our addictions, like drugs, alcohol, gambling, lust. All of that is intoxication and parasites. All of these parasites that you add on will only inherit more problems. You don't want more problems. You want to be able to have good attributes, good, healthy enrichments. That's what we're looking for every day. And when it sucks at certain points, you have to go forward. When you think that you're falling by the wayside, you have to go forward. Critical references that I came across, and I wanted to share this with you, particular reasons why we want to still stay empowered. And going along the lines of the sample interview questions that I shared with you, let's say what's offered in the job market. But these are attributes that I shared with you beforehand that will help empower you to be effective in the current job market situation. One of the critical principles that I took fond of, and I took critical areas in the previous organizations for my capacities of being involved in biotech and both biopharmaceutical organizations, is they have lessons and methods to help offer you to that will still let you grow. It's up to you to decide whether you want to make those and apply it. One of the 4 key principles that I wrote and that I remembered: be efficient, having effortless resources and results, be ethical, maintain endurance. One of the these are the key critical principles that we can remember. And this is why we want to be able to drive ourselves forward and retain good effort, but also continue to win in life. Winning in life by proving yourself, by proving those who have wronged you, who have propelled you, or who have basically fueled you and actually tried to really come up with any suppressive habits. It's the suppressive habits that we want to actually remember and empower ourselves, not to back away, but empower ourselves and embrace them. That's resistance right there. That's resistance in a way that, okay, you're not going to want to live by the very number of fair systems, because there are areas that have a fair system, which is important, but it isn't always everywhere. You have to want to be able to cultivate in areas that will help drive your goals, your missions, and your success. So listen, like it, love it, make your minds up to it. Do it today. Bye for now.